Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
Money.
Let's get to the
Money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty K of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scared money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
And here we go.
Yeah, here we motherfucking go. Welcome to the Balking Dead, guys, where there is no sleep for the wicked. It's Wednesday, guys, and once again, we're coming off another winning day. Up 3 units on pitching props the last 2 days, but like we always say, we are 0-0 today, and that's all that fucking matters. We have a lot to talk about on this moving day in the MLB, starting off with Jack of the Day, as Capo had work come up, so that will be the only hitting segment we do have on this episode. Of course, this show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go over there, use that promo code PUBSPORTS on your first deposit. They will match you up to 100, minimum of 25. And as you already know, when you win, they want in. We got another sponsor, W. It's a clean energy powder with no come down to your day. And simply by scanning the QR code on screen, guys, you're going to get 10% off your first order by using the best promo in the history of the world. Pub Sports, that is. Shout out to the chat. Appreciate you guys all for coming. Shout out to the best producer in the world, Big Show Picks. You guys know the drill. Smash the like button if you already haven't, and make sure you have them notification bells on. With it being Wednesday, we start the show off with a bang. Some may say a blast, but on this show, we like to call it Jack of the Day with Connor Mack.
Well, see you later.
What's good, C Mac? Busy day, busy day for you as you had to cap a 5-hour card with Jimmy the Bag. Appreciate you for coming in and finding some time to talk some home runs. How you doing?
I'm good. He was like, man, sorry, I'm going long. I gotta go through these games. I'm like, hey, all good.
I know we spent like 15 minutes, and I was in the chat today humming and hawing, and someone was like, 20 minutes on this game? And I'm like, bro, sometimes you got to talk it out, bro. You just got to do what you got to do. And Jimmy is probably the best with involving the chat and talking shit out. And we all know, bro, like Jimmy uses the chat as well as anybody else to make him better. A lot of these people he trusts with him because they've helped him throughout his career. And that's why that show is fucking humming and hawing. But how you been?
I'm good. I'd be in a little better mood. I went with Farmer. I did, Rocco. I just should have thrown it too. I wanted a little action, as my guys cashed for me a ton, but did it. Maybe I took a whip. Yeah, I had Harris. I also had a little bit on the stolen base, because it's a little different that when I take that bet with Jimmy, if everything's a unit, Sharpie. I just want to make sure. So it didn't work out. But yeah, I had Harris the 1.5, and I had a stolen base. I was going through that last night, plus 320, and I didn't even think he had it until I just looked at the box score.
I've been doing that with Mookie as of right now. I don't really run a lot of hitting props, but when I've been running Mookie, it's either I'm running him over 1.5, over 4, over 5, and with a stolen base. And he hit his home run 5 days ago. The
Yeah,
next
he
day
did.
got robbed over the fence. The next day hit another home run. The next day stole a bag, and I'm running fucking 5-packs on this dude. Like, dude, just do two. And I didn't play it yesterday because it's Colorado. You're never going to get value in Colorado, man. What I did do like a jackass was put him over 1.5 bases tied to the money line and gave back that money because we scored 5 runs and Will Smith, Freddie Freeman, and Mookie Betts didn't do a fucking thing.
See if they do it today.
Yeah, I love winning games when our guys don't show up. That means we're scoring 10 today, bro. Like,
I know. I it's over. Nothing there. I mean, if I, get involved there.
Well, let's get into it, bro. So you have had a long day. First game you did want to talk about today is the Tigers at Rangers, who I will not be talking about. Who you looking at in this spot?
I get it. And our guy, Ribeye, Mike M, who's in with Jimmy earlier, is on the RBI prop. There's so many guys in this lineup, but I gotta say, Sharpie, the value is not here with the Rangers, especially Jack wise with the home run. Seager's 300. We have guys, under Mitch Garver plus 275 just on DraftKings right now. So I went back. This guy's red hot. I think I had him last week. He hasn't hit a homer. I took him twice and he hasn't hit a homer. But he's got me. I have hit a couple with him, and that's the guy, Nathaniel Lowe Ski. But he's red hot. This guy's on base 13 straight. And really, I'm on his over 1.5. 3 straight games, 2 hits, 2 hits, 2 hits. He's due. And you know what he hits, Sharpie? Is lefties. Great. He's a lefty that hits lefties well. Last year at 330, 10 jacks out of his 27. He doesn't mind it. And when I see this price, 600, that's my value. Simeon plus 340, all these guys, I'm just like, he's due. So put some on the jack plus 600, but I'm on his over 1.5 again just to stay hot as we got a bum in Wentz on the mound. So the 1.5 plus 125 and that jack plus 600.
Yeah, man. If I'm not talking about the games, there's probably really good action in that for hitting props. I've got a buddy of mine who is like, Trey. He goes, Sharpie, you don't like this game? I'm like, fuck no. He goes, over. Because that means there's crappy pitchers in it, bro. Like, I love good pitching, and that's not where that is in that game. So maybe Dunning shows up, but nah, I don't know. Second game of the day is just an hour north of where I live at, and what we can finally say is sunny California. And we got the White Sox at the Angels. Who you looking at in this spot?
Yeah, Rocco, I'll get to that game. It's kind of wide open. I'll touch on that at the end. Reds, O's. This one's just kind of going from the hip here, too. Good numbers. Is Ward. I know he's going to be in the leadoff spot. He's 3 for 9 with 2 homers off Giolito. I got plus 650. He's a guy who's had success in the past, and I think he go yard tonight. And at plus 650, I got to take a good value spot here. Taylor Ward from the leadoff spot. Success off Giolito. And who knows if we get runs in that game? I don't know. We haven't the last couple of days. These teams struggle to hit, but I think he could go yard. Decent, weather and decent, for some jacks. So give me Taylor Ward.
Taylor Ward it is. Last game on your board before you did want to touch on Nolan Arenado was the last game of the day on the board, period. And we're headed to Dodgers South. And that's to talk us some Rays at the Diamondbacks. Who's the guy you're going to look to back in this?
Well, I like the over in this game. Over hit last night. I liked it there too. I think we get runs here. Davies, you can look at the Rays side, but these guys, of all cash for me, Sharpie, they all went yard last night. I mean, Carroll, Walker, Marte, just cash cows for me. So it's kind of tough just to take one. And Carroll's a little less, 500. Walker's plus 600. He's 2 for 4 with the double. And we all know Eflin on the road is the shits, and he gives up the long ball. This year's not crazy bad, but he gives it up. But But this guy, homers in 3 straight, 4 of 5, 7, 5 of 7. Sharpie. How do you not just take Ketel Marte? The 1.5. I've been riding him, and he's just jack. 1.5, 1.5. His 1.5 plus 125, and they got his jack at plus 600. So, ride it until it doesn't hit. But like I said, you could look at Walker, another value, and even Carroll. Carroll's plus 500, but all these guys are hitting, and I think Eflin's we all know him on the road. That ERA is balloons. So
another thing with Kettle too is he will take a bag. So another guy you'd maybe want to throw in that stolen base with
definitely
that over 1.5 home run. Like the dude could have a game. Last year, dude, he was the best hitter on this fucking team.
He's red hot, and some of these guys too, just get rolling. Because I've seen him struggle for long periods, but constantly 2 hits, like you're talking about, walking runs. If you want to bet, hits, runs, RBIs, whatever here. I mean, he's just been rolling. I mean, look at these numbers. Just been crazy. 2 for 4, 2 for 4, 1 for 3, 2 runs, 3 runs. Just crazy. The jacks, like I talked about, the ribbies, all there. And I think another good matchup. And ride him till he gets cold, and then I'll drop him like a bad habit.
Yeah, man. Well, the thing with Eflin is he's going to stay in the fucking zone. He's going to pound the zone, and these guys don't whiff, guys. Like, I only look to play Zach Eflin props on teams that whiff. This could be a fucking nightmare for this man today. I mean, he's a good pitcher. Good pitching does beat good hitting, but fuck me running, man. I ain't trying to get involved with no Zach Eflin tonight. So you did say you wanted to touch on Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, he's I think this is a all right spot for the Cardinals and for him. Obviously, we always look at Goldschmidt's or these two here, and even deeper in this Cardinals lineup. Donovan, Gorman, Walker's been a real nice piece. That kid for me the last last month. But Arenado here off Javier, just 2 at bats. He's got a jack. His jack's under 4-1. That's up to you if you can find, plus 400 or higher. Look around. But I'll take his 1.5 here. I think you mentioned that, Javier had the rough start. I think he'll be better. You talked about his Ks. I'm sure you'll get into later in this show at 5.5. But I took his over 1.5, plus 135. Too good a hitter, too good a price. I'm on it.
I'm actually not going to touch on Javier today, but what I will talk about.
Well, I didn't know if you were going to
I was going to bring it up because
you're not on his over.
I brought it up on Jimmy's show, and I read in between the lines, maybe a little more than the next person out there, but it saves me fucking money more often than not. And I don't care if I'm wrong. Sometimes I'm right, probably 70%. Now, what I seen with the fucking Javier line today, they have his outs at 15.5. They've only done that 2 times this year versus the Milwaukee Brewers and last week. He got fucking pummeled. Every other week, it's at a 17.5 at an even money type bet, if not juice. So just in the lines, it tells me Javier is going to get his ass cheeks pounded today. And I wouldn't be surprised. There's no way I could ever look over on Javier right now. He's gotten to the disgusting part of averaging 2.96 strikeouts over his last 8 games. I want to bet him under so bad, but I feel like the gods, when I bet him under, that'll be the one time he goes over in the last 8 weeks. This guy's just fallen off a cliff on striking people out, guys. He's pitching to contact, and I don't know if you want to fucking do that to this Cardinals team. I don't know if you want to do that.
Yeah, so even if he's good, I like Arenado here. If he's not, like you mentioned, the strikeouts are just falling off, like you mentioned. Jeez. 2-2-1. Even before that, he had like 3. I think one start he might have had 5. So
I talk about the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And after the second time of when he should have cashed, I gave up and I started just to watch him decline. And I've wanted to bet him under every week, but like I said, I'm afraid the day I bet him under, he's going to go have a fucking 10-pack McGack on my ass. And That's why I don't bet unders, guys. So a quick little recap of the Jack of the Day with Connor Mack for those showing up just for the bet segment that we will put in the comment section. Started the day off with a guy who's been money on this show for us, Nate Lowe of the Texas Rangers. He's going to go over 1.5 bases at the plus 125, and he's going to sprinkle the Majack at the plus 600. Then we're going to head on over to the Anaheim game, guys, and we're going to go to Taylor Ward at some good plus 650, guys, off, and he got some good numbers off Giolito. Should be leading off, but you never know. With these Angels, they could decide to put Moniak in, and we'll talk about that when we get to Giolito. Then we're going to one of the hottest Diamondbacks. I mean, pick your fucking poison at the end of the day, guys. This is a real legit baseball team, sad to say, since they're in my division. But we're going to take Kettle Marte over 1.5 at plus 124, and we're also going to sprinkle that home run at a plus 600. He's going to end his day, guys, heading on over. He's going to pick on Christian Javier, and he's going to take Nolan Arenado over 1.5 bases at a plus 135. If you don't know how C-Mac bets, guys, he will never take a home run prop under 4-1 because you're playing odds at the end of the day, and you need to hit at least 1 out of 4 just to get your money back. And this motherfucker hit a plus 700 the other day on the live stream. Boy, with a whop.
Red hot.
Appreciate you guys, my guy. Always a pleasure to have you on. I know you're busy, especially on a day where you've had to talk baseball for enough to where you're probably done the whole week. But I hope to see you tomorrow. Want to tell them where they can find you and what you got going on? Go ahead, real quick.
Definitely appreciate it. Shout out to the chat. Hit the like if you could. There's the guy Noli G. Everyone up in the chat. Probably Angel, what's going on, my man? The last game, I don't mind it. I think Rocco put it. Yeah, I'm not 365. I've never had it. I got a lot of books by everyone, but not 365. Is that mostly just Canada? That's 365? Because I can't do it. In Nevada, you can't.
I think Rocco lives in Cleveland.
Yeah, you can in the U.S. I just can never sign up for it. It's something in Nevada. You can't. But look around. Like I tell you, those weird bets that don't have a lot of prop bets, a weird book like William Hill, Caesars, they'll have a crazy that's 100 points more on a home run prop. Where everything else, that books is, generic as shit. They don't have props and good strikeout. The numbers suck. All that
Offshore suck, period, bro. You want to bet a home run prop, you're getting taxed plus 100.
Oh, yeah. Bet online's pretty tough. Exactly. Yeah. Real quick, is the Reds Orioles games, just before I bounce. Pick or poison, ton here. De La Cruz, India, he's like plus 700. Fraley, like you mentioned, 2 for 3 with 2 bombs, and he's like plus 650 plus. I don't mind it. I just didn't know where to go. And on the O side, look around, Santana, all these guys. Hayes, Rutschman is always my dude. So I just didn't narrow in on one, as I think there's runs in that game. So I don't mind it. I just wanted to hit that up before I dip. I will see you tomorrow. Connor Mack picks as always. Shout out to you. Deliver the goods as you always do, my man. Best.
Hey, you don't push yourself enough. So while on this show, I will. He does have his packages, guys. It's cheaper than the next man out there, and he's better than the next man out there. So DM this man if you're paying for someone and they're losing you your fucking money. So yeah, answer your DMs because I've had people actually hit me up saying you don't answer them.
I do. You know me. You say you don't. I do. I do. Especially, and if you're not following me, I will. Like, we'll get that figured out. But
I answer them for the most part, but it's just like you could get on the muted section real quick. You ever mention a K prop in the middle of a bet, you're done to me. You're dead to me. Like, dude, shut up and let this game finish out. Like, like, dude, don't say we've won. Don't say we've lost. Okay, please. I've got money on this shit too, bro. Maybe more. So let's just fucking not pull the nuts out and bro, let me sweat my own bet out too, bro.
Exactly.
I don't need to hear it. I don't need to hear it. Trust me. I know. But yeah. Until next time, bro, I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, see you later.
On this show, fellas, we will compare the best lines available to our K-props when they first open to the best line available 30 minutes prior to this show. And then we will always put them up to what PrizePicks has to offer. First guy on the book, Blake Snell at the Pirates, number 4 in the Black Book. This year has a 30.7 strikeout percentage and an 11.7 walk percentage. And that strikeout percentage has ballooned over the last 3 weeks. Thank you, baby Jesus. Opened them up last night on Caesars, 7+, over 6.5, that is, at -149. Morning now at an 8+ at +114 on Bet Rivers. Well, Bet Rivers still has the best available. Prior to the show, to that 8+ at +108. PrizePicks has them at a flat 7, whereas pitching outs on PrizePicks are under over a flat 17. Projected lineup for your Buccos is 8 righties and 1 lefties. This year, K per 9 for Blake Snell. At home, he has a 12.5 K per 9, where on the road, he has a 10.7. Lefties, 12.2 K per 9 with a nice 11.4 versus the right-handed side. Oh, God, help us all as we start the day with Snellzilla at the Pirates. And what is a matchup from the baseball gods, guys, as over the last 200 plate appearances versus lefties, they're middle of the pack in every hitting category. They're not walking at a 7.5% clip. Well, they're also striking out 28% of the time. Starting to look like them 22 Pirates versus lefties. As when we look who they've seen in this time span, only 2 guys we would go out and put our money on, and we did put our money on. Braxton Garrett, who went 7 innings with 13 strikeouts, and the next day, Black Jesus, Jesus Luzardo, whipped it out on them and went 7 innings with 9 strikeouts. If we go back a few days past these numbers, even J.P. Sears had himself a 6-piece. So we're getting a team struggling versus lefties and a guy who has found his groove, to say the least, as he's racked up 11 strikeouts or more in his last 3 games. And when we look at Garrett and Luzardo, the closest one of those two to Blake Snell's strikeout percent on the year is Braxton Garrett, who is still 2% lower than where Blake Snell is at today. Yeah. The one issue here, guys, is Blake Snell on the road, where this year his walk percentages have gone through the roof compared to at home. But his last 3 games on the road seems to have figured it out, as he's gone 19 innings, only allowing 1 earned run, striking out 30 people, and the best thing to me, guys, only walking 3. And if that's the Snell we get today, oh, Lord, we've got a monster on our hands. And pray for me, guys. I'm on Blake Snell for a full unit, over 7.5 at +110. And I know a few books do have 6.5 -150 or we're out there. Me personally, I cannot pay that type of juice for a guy who has broken my heart more often than not. I'm also going to do a half unit all parlay, guys, at +105. And I'm going to take Snell down to 7+, and I'm going to hook him up to Logan Allen at that 4+ as well. And we'll touch on Logan Allen when we get to him. Next person up is Mitch Keller versus the Padres. Number 90 in the Black Book this year has a 27.7 strikeout percentage with a nice 6.4 walk percentage. Open them up on Caesars at 6+ -137. The best line available now is on FanDuel at that 6+ at a -136. PrizePicks has them at a flat 6, whereas hits allowed under over are at 5.5. Projected lineup is 5 righties, 4 lefties. K per 9 this season is 9.1 at home, where he's at today, with an 11.2 K per 9 on the road. Lefties, he's got an elite 12 K per 9, while righties a 8.6 K per 9. Good old Mitch Keller, who's been actually really good to us on this show, as we've only lost 1 bet with him on the year. And now he gets a matchup versus a Padres team versus the numbers that say no to an over on K-prop, as they're walking at an elite 10.5%, not striking out at an elite 20%, and they're 10th through 14th in every hitting category I want to look at. Last week, guys, when we talked to some Keller, we talked about how his outs was the play over his strikeouts, and he went out there, went 7 innings, and only had 5 strikeouts. Now, let's look at who the Padres have faced in this time of their numbers. They played Eflin, who we weren't on that day because we don't run Eflin versus teams who don't whiff, and he went 6 innings and only had 5 strikeouts, but he did cash his over 4.5 that day. And they crushed Tanner Bybee, who has had issues with teams in my no-fly zones. And for the most part, the Padres are one of those teams where I need a good reason to get in, or I just let it go. So let's go look and see how Mitch Keller has done versus my other no-fly zones this year. Went up versus the Red Sox, 7 innings, 7 strikeouts. Seen my Dodgers, 6 innings, 10 strikeouts. I really can't put too much on the Dodgers one, guys, because we know the Dodgers on this show have a problem with high velocity. And man, this dude got some velo. He faced the Diamondbacks, another no-fly zone, 6 innings, 8 strikeouts. And then he also faced the Mets, where he had 7 and 7 as well. So the man does damage when they don't expect him to. Now, the one thing all those teams had, it was at least 4 lefties, if not 6, depending on the team. And some of those teams run 6 lefties as a regular, guys. So for me to get involved on Keller today, I'm going to need at least 4 lefties, if not 5 personally. And as like I said, guys, he's averaged at least, well, this year he's averaging 4 strikeouts more from the left-handed side, and that's absurdly, guys. That's a big difference. That's something I do have to pay attention to. So no bet in as of now. Definitely waiting on a lineup, and I do know one of those lefties is going to be Trent Grissom, which normally you can count for 2 strikeouts. Well, there's a problem with Trent Grissom right now, guys. This man is hitting the best he's hit he has all year. I believe over the last 2 weeks, he's hitting 317, and we're not getting the Trent Grissom that we can pick on or that we have picked on. So I may need 5 lefties. I'm going to have to definitely run this lineup and make a call once the lineups came out. The lineup still ain't came out. I have their lineup sitting there and waiting. So he will be a wait and see. Appreciate the 75 live. Appreciate the 47 who had smashed the like button. If you haven't, guys, I don't ask for much. I do ask for that. So hit that like button while I talk us some Kodai Senga versus the Brewers. Number 65 in the black book this year has an elite 28 strikeout percentage with a dog awful 13.3 walk percentage. Opened him up on FanDuel 7+ plus 102. Closed him out on Bet Rivers at 7+ plus 112. PrizePicks has him at a 6.5, whereas pitching outs under over are at a 17. Projected lineup today for your Brew Crew is 6 righties, 3 lefties. K per 9 this season, 11.2 at home where he's at today with a 10.6 on the road. And a elite 11.5 K per 9 versus the left-handed side and a nice 10.4 K per 9 versus the right-handed side. Now we get a matchup, guys, from the baseball gods with Senga versus the Brewers. As the Brewers versus right-handed pitching over the last 15 days, they're walking below league average, bottom 3 in every hitting category that I want to look at, besides isolated power, where they're still bottom 10. They are also striking out near 29% of the time. When we like to get on Senga, guys, we don't give a damn about the K percentage. Personally on this show, we care more about the walk percentage, as this man is walking batters at an absurd 13% clip on the year. So why are we getting plus money on a spot from the baseball gods when he's hit this over at a 60% clip over his last 10? Before they even should have added on a Brewers tax, guys, for the situation here, guys, this should have been minus 115 to minus 125, yet they offer us plus money in a spot from the baseball gods. Well, first thing I always check on a shady-ass line, guys, is the weather, as Mother Nature don't give 2 fucks about a K-prop. And if they start the game, we're against the walls, as with a possibility of a rain delay mid-game, which the books don't refund us on, unless it was Ohtani, who actually they did hook us up on that day. But more often than not, guys, they don't give a flying fuck. It's just another way that if you bet unders, you've got another out. There's more outs to the unders in this K-prop world, guys. And I'm a over better. So when I look at the weather, guys, it shows a 64% chance of rain, but it shows that the rain will be gone within an hour or 2. So eventually, if they don't start on time, they will get this game going. So why is it still plus money? Why is everybody smashing it? It's the shitty-ass Brewers. Well, guys, I dropped the bombshell on Jimmy's show, guys, and no one knew about it till I dropped it there, and people don't do what I do and track this type of shit. So we going to talk us, why isn't Sharpie on fucking Kodai Senga today in a baseball matchup from the gods? I'm going to tell you, 4 days rest, which is okay for a normal pitcher, guys. This is a Japanese pitcher, a guy that is making his second ever start on just 4 days rest. Where the first time, guys, we faded him, and he didn't make it through the 3rd inning. He got freaking shellacked, whacked, and packed up and sent to baby Jesus, guys. So it is what it is. And I can't even take them under today because it is the Brewers. And that's where I get at right there. This is one team that sucks donkey schlong. If he was to hit it, it would be versus this team. I at least had the Toronto Blue Jays running up against this guy with the 4 days rest. So I can no way back Senga on 4 days rest, guys, as pitchers are the biggest creatures of habit in baseball, and Japanese pitchers are more of a creature of habit than them. So it's just a complete stay off. I would look to fade them if it wasn't the Brewers because, like I said, it is the Brewers, and they they like to strike out. Next guy up on the board, guys, Logan Allen at the Royals, number 83 in the Black Book. 2023 this year's got a 22.5 strikeout percentage with a 8.5 walk percentage. Open them up or morning line 5+ at -126 on FanDuel, where the best line available now is on MGM at -110. 4.5 on PrizePicks, whereas pitching outs under over are at a 15.5. Projected lineup is 7 righties, 2 lefties. K per 9 this season, 8.2 at home, 9.8 on the road where he's at today. And lefties, he has an 11 K per 9, where an 8.5 versus the right-handed side. Now we get young Logan Allen and another matchup, guys, from the baseball gods, as the Royals over the last 200 plate appearances versus lefties are bad, to say the least. Maybe one of the worst teams in the league, as they're bottom 8 in every hitting category, walking at a putrid 6.3%, while also striking out at a 29% clip. If we go back to see what lefties would we bet on that these Royals have faced in these trash-ass numbers, well, we can't really count Shane McClanahan, who got hurt through 4 innings, so we won't talk him, even though he took my money. Like I said, there's more ways to freaking the under when betting a over. The only other guys that they seen that I'd put my money on, and we did, guys, was Braxton Garrett, who had 6 strikeouts in 5 innings on just 74 pitches. And then the very next day, Jesus Luzardo went 7 innings with 8 strikeouts. If we go back 30 days, guys, the only other guy they've seen in that time span, and they've got some really bad numbers versus lefties, the only one we would put our money on, and that we did, is Mackenzie Gore, guys, who went out and had an 11-piece McStrider in 7 innings worth of work. Now, we get a low number on Allen, as he's only hit this 4.5 out of 50% of the time, which does warrant even money. But because of the Royals, we did get a little bit of juice, and it's came back down, which is totally fine with me. And I'm on Logan Allen, guys, over 4.5 at -120. And I have a half-unit alt parlay, like I said, at Allen 4+, Hook 2 Snell 7+ at a +105. As Logan Allen has had 4 or more strikeouts in every game other than the teams I consider a no-fly zone. Now, the only issue with Allen in this spot, guys, is when he's been given these gifts from the baseball gods, he hasn't came through on his overs, as he's 0-3 to the over versus teams who strike out at a 24% clip or higher. Well, 2 of those games, guys, he was lined at a 5.5, and I knew last week to take him down, as the A's are a little better than what people want, and I knew last week to take him down, and he ended up losing that 5.5 by the hook. The one thing you will not get the A's to do that you can get the Royals to do is chase. Now, the A's and the Royals are both really bad teams at whiffing. They miss inside the zone. The A's don't chase. The Royals are the second fucking worst team in baseball at chasing. So these guys just swing at fucking everything. So this is the best matchup that this man has been given, a plate full of fucking bums who just want to swing and fucking miss. So Logan Allen, go out there and get me my damn money. And I'm on his over 4.5 and have that alt parlay with him as well. And Padres lineup is out. Is it the lineup that I was expecting? Sanchez, Carpenter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get your mother on the floor. Gotta get up and get down. Gotta get up and get down. 1, 2, 3, 4. We just got the Padres lineup in. Now we got to see where Mitch Keller is at. Not Brad Keller. Fuck. Brad Keller don't do nothing. He don't strike people out like the Mitch's son. Half unit bet, guys. Over 5.5. -136 on Mitch Keller, guys. We got 5 lefties in the lineup. Thank you, baby Jesus. And I will run up against those numbers that say not to. as it is what it is. And you gave me what I needed. This guy has done what he's had to do in those spots. If you need the breakdown, go ahead. But we are going to add that half unit on Mitch Keller at a minus 136. Let's talk Lucas Giolito at the Angels, guys. Black Book 47, 50. This year, he's got a 25.6 strikeout percentage and a 7.8 walk percentage. Opened him up at plus 105 on MGM. Still same line available, and that's still at MGM. PrizePicks has him at a flat 6, whereas earned runs under over are at a 2.5. Projected lineup, 6 righties, 3 lefties. K per 9 this season. Homie has a 9.6. Rhodey has a 9.7. K per 9, pretty much the same each way. And then he's pretty much dead ass the same lefties, righties, guys, where it's in between 9.5 and 9.8 K per 9. So this man does the damage each way. Doesn't really matter. Now we get to talk Lucas Giolito at the Angels, where when we look at the Angels' numbers versus right-handed pitchers over the last 2 weeks, it says they're one of the better teams in baseball, as they're walking in an elite 11%, top 5 in every hitting category, while striking out at only a 21% clip. So the numbers say no, guys, but we know on this show that numbers are like lawyers. They don't necessarily lie to you. They just don't tell the whole truth. So let's actually go look at who they've seen. Well, we know they've seen Dylan Cease, guys, because we were on him as he went out and got a 10-piece the other day. And the only other person in that time span that we would go look to put our money on is Nathan Eovaldi, who also went 7 innings with 9 strikeouts. Now, if you watch this show, you know how I attack the Angels. I don't give a flying fuck about any of their numbers. All I care about is my pitchers' numbers, as I found that pitchers with an elite strikeout and walk percentage have done the damn job versus this Angels team. Now, Giolito is about a 0.5% off each way from being considered elite in my book. And this will be the second time this season Gio will be facing this team. And the last time he's seen him, the numbers said go, go, go on a K-prop, as they were striking out at a 25% of clip at the time and walking below league average. But like I said, I can give a rat's ass when looking at the Angels' numbers, as I found the key. And Giolito that day only went 5 innings with 5 strikeouts that day, and he had the same 6.5 that he's at today. I stayed off him that day as the Angels decided to play analytical baseball that day for one of the few times this year, and actually run 7 right-handed bats out versus Gio. And yeah, this year, guys, if we do look at Gio splits, he has the same K per 9 versus each side of the plate. But if we go back past the last 2 seasons, not counting this year, guys, it tells us a whole different story. And that's just the Gio I still stick to, guys. And he averages at least 1.5 more strikeouts per 9 innings versus the left-handed side than he does the right. And the fact that he is close to making the elite cut both ways, I got to wait for lineups on this one, guys, as if I can get a Moniak and Moustakas and another lefty not being Ohtani, I'll be looking to get involved. So make sure you do pay attention to Twitter, as I will tweet out any other action I put in after. Next guy and last guy on the book. Appreciate the 60-something that smashed the like. Shout out to the 90 in the chat. Let's just keep it rolling. JP Sears, the guy who's made us some money, versus the team that drafted him, the Yankees. Number 89 in the black book this year has a 24% strikeout percentage and a nice 5.1 walk percentage. Opened him up last night, guys, for a cool 30 minutes or so. Over 4.5 was minus 128 on FanDuel, and then it was gone. Morning, it was 6+ plus 122, and that's pretty much where he's at right now, where the best line available to that 6+ is on FanDuel at a plus 116. PrizePicks has him at a straight 5, whereas earned runs under over are at a 2.5. Projected lineup today is 7 righties and 2 lefties. K per 9 this season. 7.7 K per 9 at home, where he's at today, with a 9.3 on the road. Granted, he has 35 innings at home and 48 innings on the road. Lefties, guys, he struggled with a 5.7 K per 9. And yes, it's a small sample size, but his career K per 9 versus that is putrid as well, with a 6.9. Righties, he's doing the damn thing versus with a 9.3 K per 9. Now we get to talk JP Sears in a spot where it's hard to take something from, meaning when I look at these Yankees numbers versus lefties, I had to go back a whole month to only see 98 plate appearances. And that ain't fucking nothing, guys. I will never go past 30 days when looking at lefties, and I'll never go past 200 plate appearances. Now, the 98 plate appearances says this can be a spot as they're not walking and striking out at a 25% clip, and they're bottom 10 in batting average and OPS, but yet top 10 in isolated power. This line, like I said, was a 4.5 for about an hour, maybe less, and I wrote it down thinking it would move to minus 150 soon. Nah, it jumped to 5.5. Probably where it should have been, but I don't bet shoulds as there's not enough plate appearances for me to even consider this spot. Now, this is get back day for Sears as he did get hit by them earlier, and he was drafted by this Yankees team, shipped over in the A's trade for Frankie Montas, and crazy to say this, looks like Oakland won that trade. How many innings has Montas even freaking pitched for the Yankees? And used to be my boy, Montas. Arrgh. All right, guys, now we got Sears over here in Oakland, guys, and he's probably the only guy that I will bet on. He's the only guy in our book, and the times we've gotten on him, he's been real money to us. So thank you, Yankees, I guess. This is a spot, guys, I do have to let go unless these cucks really run out like 8, 9 right-handed bats. Then you got to make me look, as this man has had major issues striking out lefties with a putrid 6.9 K per 9 throughout his career. And it's even worse this year, which makes no sense to me, guys. As being a left-handed pitcher, you should handle lefty batters, guys. But this is that one dude in the world who just can't strike out lefties as a lefty. So always got to pay attention to lineups when running a Sears, as I'm going to just let him go. Now, I think Josh Donaldson is worth a look tonight, guys, as all of his home runs have came in the month of June. And this dude has great numbers versus lefties throughout his careers. And we're back in the Oakland A's where he started his career, guys. So he did hit a bomb last night. Definitely were someone I'd be looking into as well tonight to get to JP Sears. Now, one thing, guys, about JP Sears, if you're going to bet on him and watch him tonight, and I like to tell people to watch it, like I think it's magnificent. The guy only throws 92 miles per hour. But watch him pitch, bro. It looks like 98 when it hits that glove. He's got such short arm delivery that it just sneaks up on them batters, guys. So he does have an advantage for a second time through a lineup as you eventually get used to that delivery. But that short arm action he has, that 92 plays way, way, way up. If you're just showing up for the recap, please hit the like button as it does help the algorithms a lot. Today on the Balking Dead, we started the day with a prayer to the baseball gods. We put a full unit on Blake Snell over 7.5 at plus 110. And then I went a half unit, guys, on the Mitch Keller as I was waiting for the lineups and they came out on this show. And the numbers say no, but I'm going to buck those numbers with a half unit on Mitch Keller over 5.5 at minus 136. Then I get into my other full unit bet, guys, and that's Logan Allen over 4.5 at a minus 120. And then I have a half unit alt parlay with Snell at 7+, hook to Logan Allen's 4+, and I got in that at plus 105. We talked to some JP Sears and Kodai Senga, guys, and the lean is on JP Sears is over, but I think Senga gets rocked. The other two guys, well, the other one that we talked about since Mitch Keller's lineup did come out, was Giolito, and that's the guy that I'm waiting for his lineup as well. So make sure you have them Twitter notification bells on, as I will tweet out any action if I pull the trigger on our boy Lucas Giolito today. We now have timestamps for those who are busy. At worst, the 2 recaps with the hitting and pitching props we bet that day. At best, a timestamp next to everything we talked about. As you already know, this show is sponsored by PrizePicks, so if you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PubSports. Get a match deposit up to $100, minimum of $25 on your first deposit. This show is produced by Big Show Picks. Special guest today was C-Mac with the Pack, and this is on Pub Sports Radio. Some say we be pubbing. I say God help us all.
Keep firing, assholes!